It was supposed to be a routine medical supply drop. But 20 minutes after takeoff, the helicopter vanished from radar. When the wreckage was finally found, what the rescue team discovered deep in the jungle didn't just raise questions, it revealed a terrifying truth no one was prepared to face. This is Captain Rachel Vega, and her team of 4 were en route to deliver emergency medicine to a remote jungle outpost in the Amazon. The skies were clear. Communication was normal. Then, without warning, the chopper veered off course and disappeared. 2 days later, search crews located the crash site, an opening torn into the jungle canopy, as if something had yanked the aircraft down. The wreckage was twisted, but intact. No bodies, no blood, no signs of struggle. The emergency beacon had been manually disabled. Rescue workers soon spotted something odd, a pair of footprints leading away from the crash site. At first glance, the trail seemed random, erratic, perhaps even a trick to distract them. But as they followed deeper into the jungle, a pattern emerged. The loops, the turns, the sudden halts. It was almost as if they were being herded. Every 100 meters they found something left behind. A flashlight, a torn sleeve, a boot. All of it belonging to one of the 4 crew members. As the sun began to dip below the thick canopy, casting long shadows on the forest floor, they stumbled upon another clue. Scratched into the rough bark of a towering tree was a message. It was short, stark, and sent a chill down their spines. It sees us. It learns. With adrenaline surging and fear gnawing at their resolve, they pushed forward. An hour's trek led them to a clearing. In the center sat a small tent made of torn canvas, surrounded by 3 backpacks, 1 fire pit, and a few scattered tools, indicating a brief camp. What disturbed them most was the single camera lying on a rock as if left in haste. As night fell and the jungle came alive with unsettling sounds, they set up camp. Sleep was fitful, haunted by the unsettling message and the haunting thought of what might be lurking in the darkness. When the first light touched the canopy, they checked the camera. It was nearly drained, but they managed to get one last video, and what they saw sent a jolt of terror through them. It was Rachel. Her face was pale, her eyes wide with a dawning horror. She whispered urgently, barely breathing, "It's not an animal. It's not human. It waits until we stop moving." Then the screen went dark. They never found the team. Not a single body. The jungle seemed to have swallowed them whole. They did find clues, though, scattered pieces of the puzzle that hinted at a horrifying reality. Following the crash, the team had survived. Rachel and possibly 1 other crew member had trekked out of the jungle, desperately seeking help. This was evidenced by the footprints, the items left behind, and the message scratched on the tree. But whoever or whatever had been pursuing them had forced them to abandon their backpacks and flee deeper into the unforgiving wilderness. The predator's intelligence was evident in the way it had studied them, learning their patterns and movements before striking. It had waited until they stopped moving, suggesting a patience and cunning that defied the boundaries of the natural world. But the most disturbing revelation came when the rescue team discovered an abandoned camp around 2 miles from the crash site. Here they found 3 backpacks, 1 fire pit, and a single camera. The backpacks held essential supplies, and the discovery of a fire pit indicated that the team had attempted to stay warm and signal for help. The camera suggested they had tried to document their ordeal. In the final video recovered from the camera, Rachel spoke in hushed tones, her face etched with fear. "It's not an animal. It's not human. It waits until we stop moving." Before the video ended, they noticed something peculiar about her surroundings. Carved into the earth was a strange formation, a spiral pattern made by twisting vines, surrounded by broken branches stacked like a nest. It was here in the second camp that the investigators sensed a shift in the narrative, a transition from mere survival to something more sinister. The team's attempt to escape and then their abrupt abandonment of their pack suggested a terrifying choice. Faced with an unseen menace, they had traded their supplies and hope for the perceived safety of deeper in the jungle. The locals from a nearby village shared old stories of La Sombra Silenciosa, the silent shadow, a jungle predator that stalks its prey, mimicking voices and studying human behavior before striking. The entity didn't kill for hunger, only for silence. While the existence of such a creature remained a local legend, The circumstances of the disappearance lent credence to these tales. Could there be a creature that lurked in the Amazon, preying on those who ventured too deep into the jungle? Or was there a more sinister explanation waiting to be uncovered? The investigation continued, but as days turned into weeks, the mystery only deepened. There were no sightings, no evidence of a struggle, no bodies found. The jungle had claimed them and offered up few answers. The only tangible clue was the video, Rachel's desperate whisper echoing in the silence. It's not an animal, it's not human. It waits until we stop moving. Weeks turned into months and the case went cold. The whispers died down, but the questions lingered. Was it a creature, something ancient and unseen that had targeted the helicopter crew? Was it an elaborate hoax gone wrong? Or was there a darker truth hidden in the heart of the jungle, waiting to be unearthed? If you ask me, the truth is scarier than fiction. Some mysteries are best left unsolved. Some creatures are best left undisturbed. And some places, well, they're not meant to be explored. Let's take a closer look at the clues. The helicopter was found crashed in the jungle, but the emergency beacon had been turned off manually. This suggests that the crew had survived the crash and made it out of the wreckage. Why would they turn off the beacon? Maybe they thought it would save the battery for an emergency, or maybe they were trying to hide themselves from whoever or whatever was out there. Then there's the footprints. They were described as erratic, almost as if the crew were being herded. Could this be the work of an unseen stalker, gradually driving them deeper into the jungle? And what about the messages? The one found carved into the tree was short, cryptic and chilling. It sees us. It learns. Was this a warning, a taunt, or a journal entry chronicling their descent into fear? The second campsite adds another layer to the puzzle. Why did the crew abandon their backpacks and supplies? What drove them to leave everything behind and venture deeper into the dangerous jungle? Was the creature clever enough to realize that humans need food and water to survive? Did it force the crew to abandon their supplies by destroying them or making them unusable? The video adds a sense of urgency to the mystery. Rachel's frantic whisper paints a picture of desperation and fear. It's not an animal. It's not human. It waits until we stop moving. Was she talking about the creature? How could she differentiate between animal and human? And why did she think the creature was waiting for them to stop moving? The final clue is the spiral formation. It was described as a perfect spiral of twisted vines surrounded by broken branches. What significance does it hold? Is it a territorial marker, a ritualistic symbol, or a hunting ground for the silent shadow? Taken together, these clues paint a grim picture of a terrifying reality. A relentless stalker, a desperate flight, a race against time. What emerges is a haunting image of a creature or a group of creatures that possess intelligence, patience, and a sinister purpose. The creature may not be solely responsible for the disappearance of Captain Rachel Vega and her team. It's possible that other factors contributed to their fate. Perhaps the crew made it out of the jungle only to become lost or injured in the dense foliage. Maybe they encountered other dangers along the way, like wild animals or harsh weather conditions. However, the creature's presence seems undeniable. Its footprints, its messages, its tendency to study its prey before striking all point to a deliberate and sinister intent. It's as if the jungle itself had a predator that watched, learned, and waited patiently for its moment to strike. The question remains, was it a creature at all? Could there be something lurking in the Amazon that defies our understanding of the natural world? Or is there a more human explanation for these chilling clues? Maybe the answer lies somewhere in the depths of the jungle, waiting to be uncovered. But perhaps some mysteries are best left unsolved, some creatures best left undisturbed. The jungle has a way of keeping its secrets close, and sometimes it's better not to disturb the darkness that lies beneath. What do you think happened to Captain Rachel Vega and her team? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Jungle Echoes, Rescue and Mystery for more terrifying, true-inspired stories, jungle disappearances, and encounters that blur the line between nature and nightmare. Because sometimes survival isn't about fighting back, it's about not being seen at all.